What's going on is the Wolf, and we back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. And as always, I'm extremely excited, but I think I'm probably more excited today because we got a special guest. But before I introduce my special guest, you already know I got to bring it home with my guy Q joining me once again.
Glad to be here.
And we are joined by my guy Diaz Boom, one and only serial entrepreneur, real estate investor with a multi-million-dollar portfolio. But it didn't start there. So let's start from the beginning. Was you in college or was you in school to get your real estate license when you was in school?
Damn. So I started out. I went to I worked at a job. I worked at a retirement home, making $10 an hour there.
Yeah.
But when I graduated high school, let's go back. I graduated high school in 2011. I went straight to Penn State Evanston because everybody said, go to college and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I went there and my GPA was a 0.8. I got
what?
Yeah, I got all D's and an F. Or all F's and a D. I'm gonna pull it up. I literally got all F's and a D.
He still got them transcripts.
Yeah, I still got it.
Motivational purposes.
Facts. So
he just knew. He said, "This is
Yeah, this shit wasn't clicking. But I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I just wasn't going to class.
I mean, I would have.
Yeah. I know it wasn't your intellect.
I just wasn't going to class.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know the reason? Looking back, the funny thing about it is looking back. You know why I got D's?
Why?
Is because the last test is a letter grade. So I had all F's. I would go to the last test and I'll pass and get a D, and they would let me average it out. Over. Yeah. So you think about it, if I actually took the time, I would have been acing. I would say acing it, but I would have been doing good.
For sure.
But I would never go to no classes.
Yeah.
And I would just go on the last final, and then I'll just get a B or a C or whatever, and I'll get a letter grade up.
So why go to school to not apply yourself, though?
So we keeping it a bean.
Yeah.
I went to school because it was because
just the thing to do, and especially for our time.
Yeah. And then
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I went to MCS. It's down Broad Spring Garden.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Principal Joyner, right?
Yeah, but the thing is with that, a lot of people don't know is that as long as you showed up, you got a C. Yeah, there's no left behind. So as soon as you showed up, you got a C. So when you sending your transcripts, your grades to colleges, you got A's and B's, but I ain't no book bag, no none of that.
Yeah.
So it messed up a lot of people, bro. So we automatically basically passed, and then everybody
y'all
just
conditioned to not do shit and not.
It's crazy that you say that because so when I went to Germantown, the lowest grade you can get was a D, which was a 65, right? But in motherfucking Hope, was it a 60? Whatever it was. I know when I transferred my senior year to Hope Charter, whatever a D was, and F in Germantown was a D at Hope. So all of the classes that I need to see that too. All of the classes that I failed, they end up advancing to D's, and then I had ended up 12th grade year with a work roster after having to do summer school and twilight. Damn. But they gave me a work roster because all of them grades translated from F's to D's, and it's like, well, he technically passed. So they gave me my credit, so I ended up graduating with more. Damn, this motherfucker really had this had a 1.1.
Yeah, and that was a better
one. So I bounced back because I did good that semester for that one.
So that was that, and so I just that's the real reason why I did, and then I actually never told nobody this before. So when
breaking news, y'all, breaking news.
Yeah, I actually never told somebody. I was going up there, and I realized the type of different people was up there, and I'm connecting with people, and everybody just talking, and just seeing what's going on. You realize these dudes just like to get fried up to call the spade a spade. So then you just moving around doing different things. I'll literally go up there first thing, everybody they fix, and I dip.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll go back up my way.
Yeah.
Do my thing away, and then that's all I do.
That shit became work. I got some plays to make, and I'm going home.
Yeah, you can sell 10 for 30 up there. It's so I would just dip, and then
the real estate shit came after that. Cause then, are you licensed as a realtor?
Not anymore. So,
but you did. I feel like I seen you post something.
Yeah,
right?
So
you failed a bunch of times.
Yeah, so
I want to say real quick. So you look familiar, but I wasn't familiar with you, and I have people forward me your page before, so I will give you that shout out because I have.
Oh, appreciate it, bro.
Like you are a big deal, and other people. Cause I wasn't as familiar with you even on the Instagram. Yeah, but people say, no, you ever heard this and that, whatever. Yeah, so
appreciate
full
it,
circle. Yeah, so shout out to you.
Appreciate it. So so the school kicked me out. Basically, it was like, yo, this joint, your work grade's not clicking, you gotta go. The nutty part is they sent something to FAFSA, and FAFSA back billed me all them semesters.
Yikes. Yeah. They said we leaving here with something.
It was $6,000 a semester. Yikes. They so FAFSA always paid $5,000. I had to come up with the other grand. They back billed me all the stuff. And then they basically I had to pay a Husky bill. My mom ain't had the bread. I ain't the bread. Nobody had the bread. So basically that joint went to my credit. So I started out the gate 500. Right out the gate 500 score because that collection was Husky.
Yeah.
And then I went to CCP for a little bit. My grades was like a 2 point. I did a little bit better, but that's because you was taking a remedial class.
Yeah.
And then I'm working at this job, retirement home. It's up Plymouth Meeting. I was making $10 an hour. And it just was like, you get to this point where you just fed up. Like, bro. And I remember it was like it's yesterday. So I used to work 7 to 3, and then I worked 4 to 10. And then they had this overnight shift when it snowed, you get paid $20-something an hour. So I'm like, all right, bet. I basically was spending the night at the job.
Right.
Because you got to shovel, because it's older people. If they slip, they die. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
You got to shovel it as the stuff coming down. Fast forward, my check was like $1,500 after 2 weeks.
I was sleeping at the job.
My manager told me this. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. It pissed me off so much. He said, "Dang, your check look like mine." I said, "But you left at 3 every single day." At that moment, I think everybody need their fed up moment. At that moment, I was like, "Yeah, this shit ain't gonna work. I gotta fix something." I went to a real estate class. It was a home buying seminar, but it was more so how to buy like a duplex, live in one, rent one, and shit like that.
House hacking. Right.
House hacking. And the guy, his name was Anthony Lee, and he just was like, I pulled him to the side afterwards. I'm like, I'm really trying to get into this. And he was like, yo, you knowledgeable. I was like, I've been reading books and stuff for the last couple months. This was 2016, like November, December. He said, no, you should get this a shot. I'm like, nigga, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
He said, no, I think you should get this a shot. I'm like, what? He said, be an agent. And at this point, I'm like, yo, agent, you don't need no light. I mean, you don't need no money. You don't need a whole lot of money. You need a couple $100, $1,000 at the most, and you don't need good credit. And I wanted to be a real estate investor, but you needed, a lot of credentials and money and different things. So at the time, that's what I thought. So I gave that a shot, and I got licensed March 2017. I failed my test 8 times.
I think that's what I seen that post.
Yeah, I passed on the nighttime. To be honest with you, half them times I was just walking in, walking out. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna walk in and take this joint. And after the 5th time, I'm like, let me actually open up this book and study.
Let me apply myself.
Yeah, so it was
only like 3 or 4 real failures.
3 real fails, and then. But what happens is you got to take a state and nationwide test. So it's like 100 questions and like 40 questions. But they like not what is real estate. They asking scenarios. You walk in this house and there's a leak right there, but they never sign a contract. Do you have to tell them about the leak or no? It's like
this is real experience.
Critical thinking.
Yeah. So what you do is you fail one on purpose and focus on one. Take that one, then you go back. So like you said, like 2 of them was really real fail. The other 5 was I'm walking in, walking out.
Right.
So then that's when I got licensed, and then I got licensed March 2017. I sold like 20 cribs from March to December. I just was getting active because like I got to get to it. Next year I doubled it up. The next year I got into real estate wholesaling. My man made like $17,000 for deal. I made like $7,000. He had ball shorts on. I had a suit on.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you doing? He said, man, I just find these old messed up cribs, and then I just find somebody want to buy it. I middleman it. I'm like, bro, I'm walking around professional suit on and all that. So then that's when I switched to that lane. I was doing both at the same time for a little bit, and I totally switched over there. And then I was helping. I just thought about, I'm like, damn, I'm helping all these dudes get rich. They buying these houses, fixing them up, renting them out, keeping them. And I had like 3 deals, like $60,000 worth of transactions just terminate. It was like they just didn't go through. And I was like, damn, I got to start all over again. Because you got to grind next month anyway, but it's when you got to grind next month and make up for last month.
Yeah.
I said, I never want to feel like that again.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to start buying houses. I'm going to start keeping them. So worst case scenario, I still got rent going.
So do you think do you have a passion for it, or was it just a product of your hustle?
Passion for real estate?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I love business. I love business. So business is my passion, but I love real estate. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like you'll do business across the board, but if you had to pick a lane, you gonna fuck with real estate essentially.
Yeah.
If you feel me?
Yeah.
No, but so one of the things that we was talking about before we started rolling was just about being honest with ourselves, whatever the case may be. So I mean, as I'm picking up on stuff you're saying, it seemed like you was like that fed up moment was just that be honest with yourself moment too. Like I ain't even really giving this shit real effort. Then the one time you did at the job, you sleeping overnight and all that, you see the results of it.
Yeah, it's like, dog.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, like this ain't that. But I feel like so many people nowadays, in general, for I feel like people have things that they want to do, or they have things that they expect to get from the things that they're doing, but don't understand the real dedication and commitment that it takes. Yeah. So you said you went in there 5 times and failed, really just basically shooting half-court shots.
Basically.
Like, I no preparation, no nothing. But once you started to respect the process, and you're like, damn, I actually got to apply myself, this is the result of it, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, just tying it full circle to how I feel like what I want people to understand is just really looking at it like, it really take a lot to be great at something. Yeah. Even if you naturally great. I was having this conversation with my little cousin on the way here. Like, I feel like he naturally talented at stuff. But I'm like, if you look at somebody like Michael Vick, extremely talented. Somebody like Allen Iverson, extremely talented. Somebody like Pat Mahomes. I use Pat Mahomes because all 3 of them are naturally gifted. Yeah. But Pat Mahomes is a champion because he took that extra step to focusing on and getting better in preparation. Yeah. Whereas though AI and Vic just kind of showed up as good as they were. Not saying they ain't practicing none of that, but they'll say it themselves that their preparation was just more on the fact that I just know I'm nice.
Yeah, and you said something. You said something key, bro. You said something real key. Like, you can be naturally gifted and you can have a natural hustle, but to get to that next level, like I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. You make, $100,000 or a couple $100,000, you can hustle that.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you hit that million, like, that's when a little bit of strategy come in.
That's a fact.
Even when you want to go past that, it's like, all right, let's put everything on the table. Like, all right, how is this system going? What is this? You got to bring some team members. You got to bring some systems. Like, that's when it gets to the next level. And
systems and everything.
Yeah, systems and help. And you got to actually digest and dissect what is going on in your business. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, I think and this is just going a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, go ahead. Right the road.
I feel like everybody's business is a bucket. And, leads and money going into your bucket. But if you have a whole bunch of empty holes, the money's coming in, the leads is coming in, it's pouring right out. So I feel like you can get the 6 figures by just keep overloading water, and just hopefully more stay in than is coming out.
That's a fact.
But you're going to be on a hamster wheel. In order to get to like that 7-figure number and above, you need to, let me stop for a second. Let me start corking in some of these holes. That way more money stay in, and then there you need another bucket because it's going to overflow and go into the next one. But like you said, a lot of people just naturally gifted, naturally got that hustle. But to get Mahomes get to that next level, he's like, okay, let me fill in these pieces.
Exactly.
So now I can actually be multiple championship and 100%. Different things like that.
Yeah, and I was just saying that in regards to even like the current finals, like Luka. It's like Luka clearly is talented. He's clearly gifted, whatever. Gifted. But to me, my personal opinion is like, Luka, you got to get in better shape. Yeah. You got to be a little more committed on defense. You got to open up your offensive style to be like, all right, move off the ball, be able to move without the ball. Just doing it this way. You got to the finals, though. You did that far, but now to most likely win, you're going to have to take that extra leap. LeBron went through it. Jordan went through it. Everybody go through it. It's like, all right, my skill, my gift, my talent got me here, but now I have to go to that next level to unlock it, patch those holes in the bottom of that bucket, and all right, cool. This is how we're going to move more efficiently and strategically.
That's the biggest
thing. And I feel like that shit really do come from honest self-reflection because it's like, if you're not – see, there's a difference between knowing how to take criticism and then – accepting criticism. And I feel like you got to know when to do either or, right? Because I feel like some people always want to criticize you. So you don't always got to accept that. But you got to be able to take it in and dissect that, right? It's like, all right, everything somebody's saying about you negatively don't got to be true, but I try to figure out what is true, right? And I feel like that makes you better in every area. It can make you better. Your child mom can say something about you, and you might not like it, but some of it might be a little truth to it. Your girlfriend or your wife or whoever might say something, and 90% of it could be inaccurate, but that 10% could be the defining moment that sharpen you to make you better. And I feel like, but you got to be honest within yourself first because the information it come to you first. And how you interpret it, and then what you decide to do with it. So I feel like in this refinement phase that I feel like we all have to go through every fucking year, though. I don't think it's like you could get to 7 figures, but you got to refine yourself to get to 8. You get to 8 figures, you got to refine yourself to get to 9. And going back to the whole teams and the systems part, I just feel like so many people think that they could do it alone because they're naturally talented.
You know what? So 2 things. You're never going to be a true entrepreneur. You're going to be a hustler, but you're never going to be a true entrepreneur until you sit back and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm fucking up.
Yo, real shit.
You're never going to be a true entrepreneur until you say, like, I'm the reason why this shit not going to the next level. I'm fucking up. Other than that, you're just gonna be hustling. Like, yo, man, it's your fault. We can fix it. We can, you know what I'm saying? But until you say, look, I'm fucking up. I need to fix this in the business. That's when you're an entrepreneur. That's when you're like a business owner. We're literally fixing problems in a business and not like, I feel like a lot of people today that have LLCs and businesses, they're just hustling more than they losing. And they might lose 9 and make 10 and they're like, shit, I came home with something.
Yeah.
But when you actually have a business, you are like a real entrepreneur, you have a real business model and business plan, that's when you like, okay, all right, I lost 9, I came home, but I'm up 10, so I'm up 1. That's still a problem.
Yeah.
I need to bring my 9 down to 3.
Yo.
Now I'm up X.
Yeah, and to your point, because I give you credit because it sounded like you dropped out of school, or you didn't finish school rather, and then you had your fed up moment at that one job, and then you kind of just went off the run and you developed all this insight and perspective over time. But me and Wolf have had a conversation where I feel like, to your point, a lot of people have LLC culture and business entrepreneur culture, and a lot of people have that hustler mentality or setbacks because a lot of people just also never had jobs. They never had professional. They never really been in like professional career systems to be able to take those notes and perspective. But, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna go take that and go do this. But they know. But again, to their credit, to a certain degree, because they're gonna hustle and make it up with. But eventually, you kind of gotta sit down and really figure out how to run a business and how to do certain shit like that.
That's what I feel like I learned this time frame. Like, I want to say this year, within the last 365. Because for me, I've always been a hustler. Since a young nigga, I always, like, since forever, I've never had a job in life. So even when I used to hear people talk about, I was always good at building teams. But when people used to say the word system, for some reason, it came off complex to me. It came off like a fucking PlayStation or an Xbox when you crack it open and you see all these wires and what the fuck is a system, right? But it became simple to me. And I feel like the more I gained experience in business and the more I started to be intentional about learning business and not just knowing how to hustle and facilitate different deals and take my money and dip off and be on to the next retainer or on to the next, I'm like, all right, cool. Now in this particular frame is like, I went to Atlanta. We were just talking about this the other day at the event. I was like, you said, what did it do for me? And the reason it turned me up because I was asking people the same question. One of the things that helped me a lot, I asked everybody the same thing. And I don't know if I asked you, but I probably did. I was just like, yo, getting to where you at, did you foresee it or did you just put one foot in front of the other? And everybody was saying, no, I just put one foot in front of the other. For me, I needed to hear that because I kept trying to plan everything out A to Z. So I'm like, all right, I'm not trying to just hustle. So I have to know everybody's like, nah, for real, I really just need to get to the next light, then the next light, then the next light. You look up, I'm 10 miles down, or then you look up, I'm a whole city over. So it's just about taking those steps. Then the second thing was just people saying fucking systems and teams. And I already understood the team part, but once I realized, okay, let me simplify it. McDonald's has a system. You got cashier, they read the orders off the prompter, they got a fucking assembly line for the burgers, they got fry guy, they got drive-through. That's their system, and they put that bitch in every location across the world. I started looking at business like that. I'm like, okay, well, what is the components to running this business? You need A, B, C, D, like a basketball team. You need a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. Now, of course, with this new style of basketball, the position and the athleticism is changing. But the fact of the matter is, do you understand that the core fundamental values is you need these positions on the floor for this to work? Then you could get strategic, like how Phil Jackson did with the triangle offense, and you could start to create a system that's unstoppable. But understanding the base of what you need is how you can succeed. So yes, I always said like making 6 figures is just a standard. But when I'm like, I'm trying to get to that 7-8 figure mark, I'm not going to do it off of my own hustle. It has to be. It gotta be a system.
That's a fact.
And real quick to circle back to your whole journey, also like the idea of like playing off talent, playing off gift. One part that was important that you did touch on, I feel a lot of people maybe miss on, especially I feel like black people and poor people in general, is the idea of like what I call intentional.
Nigga, did you just associate black people with poorness? But go ahead.
I said black people and poor people.
I caught it too. Whether you finish your statement first.
You could be poor and not black. You be black. It's like separate buckets.
All right, bet.
Both got holes in them. But no, so but the idea of like the intentional audacity, which I understood that in recent years, where it's like the idea of like you came across that class like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take the test. Now, whether that was the best strategy possible, either way, that took a certain level of audacity. But no, I'm gonna just go for it, fuck it, and do it. Where a lot of people be like, nah, I ain't go to the class, or I ain't gonna take the test, and what's the chance of me even passing? What's the point of it? I don't know nobody that do it. But it's like the idea of saying, no, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And I feel like a lot of black people and or poor people be having that like doubter mentality naturally, where oftentimes white people, especially Jewish people, they be like the audacity thinking I can't do something, or audacity thinking someone I can't, or you think you gonna stop me. Like, no, this shit's entitled to me in certain regards. And black people have that, nah, you can't do that shit. Or like, nah.
What I'm about to say is about the
go for that
conversation. You just said something key, and it go back to what we was talking about earlier about traveling and stuff like that. Like how, this weekend I might spend $200-$300. I might as well get a $100 flight to Atlanta and go hang out down there.
Yeah.
Same bread getting spent. Now I'm in a different environment. And I feel like people don't compare situations enough before they do something. So for example, right, to take your real estate license test is $54 every test, and to go to school is $300 a class. It might be changed now. I've been a couple years, but it's around that range. So it's $600. So a lot of people, or let's even touch on your thing. A lot of poor people might say $600. What? But people like me, I'm sitting there thinking like $600, but I don't play the video game. But let's say a PlayStation is $600. Like, dang, I would buy a PlayStation. So I might as well just, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, plane ticket is $100, but I would spend $100 at Lockbar. I mean, just go ahead and, like, a lot of people don't really connect the two and compare the two and realize how goofy it is, how they sound by not doing it.
I'm gonna tell you why though. It's gratification, right? So one provides instant gratification, and people barometer and how they measure gratification is not associated with said experiences. So a real estate license is delayed gratification because you gotta go to the school, you gotta take the test, you gotta pass the test, you gotta get acclimated with the business, then you become successful. You go to the club for $600, you buy 2 bottles, you get sparkles, you get instant gratification because people perceive you to be successful. You could go home, you might get some pussy off of it, and you get to show this experience on your social media. So it's no different than the whole gym concept. Most people don't go to the gym because long term is a health benefit, but they'll drink because short term it's an instant gratification. It's like, I'm stressed out, I'm gonna just have a shot because I can put my worries into this bottle. But going to the gym could relieve just as much stress, but the results is not gonna be as immediate, and it takes actual effort. So that's what separates the 85 from the 15. It's that little thin line where that click of what you just said. If I'm gonna spend $300 in Philly, I might as well just go to the A where I'm in a closer proximity to other successful people. The environment is better, the network is better, the resources is better, the experience is better. Most
and
people
just newer, like,
they'll be like, they'll look at it like, I don't want to pack a bag, go to the airport, go through TSA. Like, they look at all of the obstacles stopping them from getting it, where you look at it like, all right, that's all I got to do. This is going to cost me the same amount, and it's a better experience. That's what make you a part of the upper echelon versus the people that just live their life day by day because they don't want to put that extra effort into it. But it's just gratification.
Which one the camera can look at?
Just you.
Get your shit off.
I want people to realize and understand this. Time is going to pass by regardless. Like, whether you thinking like, yo, I don't want to get this real estate license, it's going to take me 2-3 months. 2-3 months is going to pass regardless. Facts. Today is what, Thursday? Tomorrow going to be Friday, whether you like it or not. Then after that, it's going to be Saturday, whether you like it or not. In a couple months, it's going to be 2025, whether you like it or not. Like, so you have to do something now that your future self is going to thank you for, because that time is going to happen regardless. So I understand people want to have some instant gratification, but tomorrow is going to happen tomorrow, whether you like it or not. You want to have your instant plays, you want to have your instant stuff right now, but tomorrow is going to happen, or whether you like it or not. And then to also tie into that, me and my homie was having this conversation. It has to get to a point where you tired of running plays, you actually want to have a business.
That's a fact.
Plays is like, yo, we got a quick play. We just made a quick 1,000, made a quick 5. Like, it's a quick play, and you realize you just played out. Like, you need to go ahead and have, like, yo, I want to have a set business where this shit is going to actually last a little long term, and actually put some lymph on it, because you're just going to be burnt out. And I want to say this too, because you said something earlier talking about something like, did you have one foot in front of the other, or did you have a vision? I truly believe in the environment, I don't know everybody's situation, but in environments that's like kind of like a Philly environment where everybody's not grown up in Beverly Hills, you're a 1%er. If you had this full-blown vision, I'm going to be a billionaire. You a 1%er.
Facts.
But the other 99% of people is because we don't have that vision in front of us to see
that foresight.
Yeah, we don't have nobody that I know a billionaire, I know a multi-millionaire. So we one foot in front of the other because we didn't see. But if you somebody in here like I foresee me being a billionaire, I foresee me being a multi-millionaire, like you for sure 1%er because like for me, I know for a fact, I'm gonna keep it a full beam with you. For a fact, when I was in high school, I said I'm gonna go to college just because I don't know what I want to do, but I'm gonna go to college because they said it. Mm-hmm. My goal was I wanted to open up a barbershop that you can sell liquor in. Yo, I had a full blown plan. I was gonna call it Top Shelf. Open up a barbershop, had like women or bartending and stuff like that.
Sound like a place I want to be.
You can get a fade in a Long Island. Yeah. $50, $60 and one thing. Because you think about a lot of dudes get their hair cut, they might be, all right, I'm gonna bust a move right after that. That was my full-blown business plan.
That's a good
model. And I said, I'm going to own a house or two, have a rental, and make a couple $100,000. I'm going to be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons, because one of the people I looked up to, my older cousin, he had a hair salon that he owned, and he had made a couple other moves on the side. That was my idol at the time.
Representation.
So for you to not have a multi-millionaire around you and you think that you're a 1%, I'm going to just keep it above you.
That's a fact. And to your point, it's like that's why exposure is key. Like what we expose ourselves to or what we get exposed to is ultimately what shapes the beginning of our thoughts, the beginning of our teachings, our beliefs, our truths, our lies, or whatever the case may be. So having that example is like, all right, I can follow in this person's footsteps until I find myself and find my own lane. And that's why I think it's important for young women as well to have a mentor, and like not necessarily don't have to. It could be like a paid. I understand the difference between a paid mentorship and just a role model mentor. Yeah. You need the role model mentor in your impressionable years because that's your idol, right? Yeah. That's your superhero. That's who you want to be like. When you get old enough, this is when you transition. You're like, okay, I know I want to get in real estate. I want to fast track my learning curve. So I'll get a paid mentor because this person can show me how not to make the mistakes they made. But getting that when you were young, prior to even get to that point, is like, I feel like I always had a vision that I was going to be something, but I just didn't know what that something was going to be.
I respect you saying that.
You feel what I'm saying? It was just like trying shit, right? Like that's why my journey has been a nonstop trial and error of figuring it out. And we go to the natural talent. I'm naturally good at everything I do because I'm smart enough to not do shit that I'm not good at. Like I'm not about to waste my time on shit I'm not good. I'm perfectly fine with coming to you for real estate and you run the play because you're the guy. I'm perfectly fine. Q, he got a lot of experience in like human resources management, things like that. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not sure if Q was ever an entrepreneur, but when it comes to that side of the business, I always lean on him for his expertise. And I feel like that's because I understand what I'm good at. But because I know that sometimes it can have you diversifying yourself too much. And it's like, I never seen shit through. I get to this would be me. It was a couple things I've done where it's like, I ran it to the end of the road. But for the most part, I get into something, I can fast track it. Like I did wholesaling before. We made a lot of money in a little bit of time. And I'll tell y'all why I stopped, but at the end of this. But I can fast track it. And then if I run into adversity, this one would tell me if I actually want to do it. Because you probably got scorned on a deal or some shit fell through, or a project took longer, the bank's playing around, and you kept going. I run into that shit, I'm like, yeah, I ain't fucking with it. This ain't. So I had to get tired of those experiences, whereas now are like, all right, we in our third decade. It's like, all right, cool. I know what my 20s was like. That was trial and error. I owned the hair salon. We tried to take out restaurant. I sold the apparel and the clothes. I did the record label. I did the marketing agency, which is what I've done for the longest. I've done a lot of shit, but it was like, all right, well, what have I really, because when I was talking to certain people that have got to 8 and 9 figures, they will all just say, yeah, I started at this age and I really just kept going. And I'm like, yo, from now on, whatever I do, I just want to keep going.
That's a key, bro. That's you said a lot and didn't even realize it, but like, or well, you did realize it, but
I probably didn't, but it's good. I just be talking.
Like, so one of the things that would make me stick with real estate, because I'm like, yo, you ever seen that picture when the guy like he mining
for the mine
and then the diamond right there?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta play it. When you in business, when you in entrepreneurship, when you in whatever it is, you gotta play a game with yourself. Man, tomorrow probably the big day. Tomorrow, it's probably tomorrow.
No, that's a fact.
No, it's probably tomorrow. Like, you gotta really wake up and play a game with yourself. Man, it's probably next week. Damn, I feel like quitting. But man, it's probably tomorrow though. I'd be crazy to quit. Like, you gotta talk to yourself. You gotta be crazy.
No, we're right.
Like, yo, it's probably tomorrow. And I think that's with me, because every day I'm like, well, and also too, I was winning out the gate. Like I got licensed March 2017. I sold my first house April in 30 days.
Yeah.
But that's because the biggest thing is I call someone before advice before I do anything. I might be about to go ahead and buy some lotion. Yo, bro, this the right joint. Like I put my pride to the side.
No, yeah, for sure.
And you got it. Like you don't guys got to tap it with me or you or whoever anybody watching this. Like you got to find a mentor. Like I don't know no other way to say it because a lot of people I'm not paying this man. I'm not paying this woman. Yo, you're paying someone so you can save a whole lot of time. And it's not even like I'm paying you to learn how to make money. I'm paying you so I can learn how to save all the time and the years. That making money is the bonus.
Right.
That they already did already.
You getting it right, and I can get it right the first time. Bro. That's worth the money because the time is invaluable in that. Like you can't compare the 10 years of experience to the 10,000 that somebody might charge you because when you do the math, that's just $1,000 a year. If you say that you wouldn't pay $1,000 a year to fast track your success, that's not smart math.
My first house, I rehabbed the house and it took me 60 days, full gut renovation. That's like people today still don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
That's because I got a mentor before I did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like imagine, like think about how many people you know in real estate and they mess up. They work on the same house for 2 years.
Yeah.
My first house, full gut renovated, took me 60 days because I had a mentor that told, yo, listen, go to this place to get the material, go to this here.
And how'd you find that mentor?
It was Instagram, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay. So your first mentor,
DMing. So I see them what they doing, and we just linked up, and it was like that.
But was your first mentor more relationship based, or was it a cash exchange?
The first mentor was relationship based.
Yeah.
First, because see, the other thing too is my first two mentors was relationship based. The third mentor was paid. The third mentor took me to the extreme next level. You get what I'm saying?
So it was working.
But me personally, and this y'all gotta put your pride aside. I would DM somebody in a heartbeat. That's what I was doing when I first got in real estate. Yo, I like what you got going on. I just got started. You know, you got some information. Or how can I link up with you? Can I take you out to lunch? Can I pay for something? Can I do something? Like, I'm the type, boy, if you talking right now, you saying some stuff, I'm gonna wait till after this. Yo, bro, how much you need? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I did that to this one dude, and it messed his head up. He's like, wait, what? I said, bro, I ain't trying to waste no time. How much is the check? What you need? Is it too big to cash at? Bro, I got to wire it to you. Like, how we doing this? Because you know some stuff I ain't trying to. And when you start doing, I'm not saying go around and just be paying people. But when you start having conversation and people let you know you serious like that, they take you a whole nother level. I was talking to this guy, right? And he helped me put the system together. And he was like, he did like a little sales presentation. And he was like, 12,000. I said, what's your wire info? I had my laptop, but we on Zoom. I made another tab. I wired him. He was like, damn. I said, bro, I ain't playing no, like, what you, I said, you can stop talking. Like, you don't got to sell with them. But this shit, clearly this shit work. I'm with it. Now me and him doing meetups. We hanging out in person. We doing all, before everybody else is just, yo, we just talking on Zoom. And then he like, bro, it shows that you really want
you respect my time, my value.
I showed you really want this shit. He charged $30,000 for a meetup. He ain't even taxing me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because people can read that type of energy. So he understand that at some point your value will supersede where it's at. And it would be better to have a relationship than to have the money. And that's another thing, just to segue into, I still want to spend a block on, you made that audacious statement you made in regards to white people and black people or whatever.
Hey, that was vicious.
But I'm not even talking. I want to add context. But just understanding relationships is worth more than money. That's something that I've been saying for years. And I feel like I said it on social media, and now I hear it being more common and people saying it. I'm not saying I invented the shit, but I'm just saying like it's like more prevalent of a conversation for people to say that relationships are worth more than money. But y'all need to understand that some relationships can start financially based where you might have to pay to get in. But if you make an impression that's good enough on somebody, then that relationship can become a relationship that supersedes any type of monetary value, because wealth just like wealth, success just like success. So if people feel like you're valuable in other areas, like most of this, it's so funny. My relationships that I have with people,
I paid them first.
See, that's, you know what's crazy? Because, all right, so two types of people. I met them because we was in the same mentorship, that a seminar, but it was like we was being mentored essentially. So it's like our relationship started before it was never no money exchange. But also what I say is, my favorite thing to say is I'm cool with being cool. So because I value relationships over the money aspect of it, I'm cool with being cool. Like I told you, probably don't remember when I seen you at work out, John, and a fucking Met. When we first was talking, you was like, yo, this when I was still doing my other podcast. Like, yo, I'm gonna come down. I was like, all right, we're gonna get together. And I was like, yo, like, I'm cool with being cool. Like I don't care to get in just because I know everybody that's doing shit. We don't gotta get no money to get. I would love to, but if we don't, I'm perfectly fine with just getting the invite to the baby shower, the wedding, or the fucking birthday party. And I'm cool with that because just having those relationships, like for instance, like
some things take time.
Yeah, but you gotta nurture them, and and it's just about being your authentic and genuine self. So relationships are worth more than money. So many people, and I feel like Neo just said this. Like people only see the value of it as a check associated with it. If he didn't say it, then whoever said it, I'm giving me just do. But I think it was him, and it's like that's how people are. Whereas though. Sometimes the compensation be the conversation. Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes that be the value. Sometimes it just might be being able to gain access to something and a resource that somebody has that would have cost you. Everything I do, it's so funny because I be like, damn, I be wanting to make way more money, right? Who don't? But I be like, I get everything that everybody that has more money gets. And it never cost me. Yeah. So it's like you might charge somebody for a fucking mentorship, right? But I might call you and be like, yo, bro, I'm about to get it to. So you might just start telling me, like, no, you need to do this. You need to do this. This same info could be 12,000, 15,000 for somebody, but just because of the relationship, you might just be like, yo, look, honey, take and that's what I started to value. Like, you know what? You can have because some people are like, oh, I need the bread. I'm trying to give a Boone or I'm trying to give a Wolf. I don't got the money. It's like, but if you kind of just make an impression on people and they see, because the tie full circle, I feel like the guy's seeing what you're going to become and you probably already then superseded where you were at that time. He made his investment for the long term. You know what I mean? He looked at it like, man, that boy going to become something. You know what I mean? But to land that and talk about your audacious statement, I think that is an inferiority complex with a lot of our people where, like you said, we don't feel deserving of success. So we separate ourselves from the success aspect, whereas though in other ethnicities or people who have that representation, they feel more entitled to it. They feel like almost of a failure if they don't have that success. That's whereas though we look at it like you the chosen one if you become successful. We should just change the dynamic where it's like that should be the standard. Success should be the standard in which we hold ourselves to, which is why I love having the relationships I have with the people that I have relationships with, because that's the standard. You don't got to explain to somebody why they should be getting up at a certain time, why they should be reading books and listening to audio books, why they should be going into different seminars and retreats and motherfucking what's them shits called, the big ones? Conferences. I couldn't get the word. Thank you. Going to conferences and things like that, investing in certificates to get certified.
Watching episodes like this.
Watching shit like this, you just get around people and they just understand that we got to change the standard on what we respect and what we consider to be success. 6 figures is a lot of money. We're not going to act like it's not, but we got to change it and say, all right, we got to make 7 the thing that if you want that.
That's because that's a whole nother conversation. That's because us as, let's call it space, us as black people, we so far behind we don't even realize it. Yeah. You know how we so far behind? Because people came up on a dime and PPP and they thought they was rich. What is a dime going to do? You see how you can tell it wasn't rich because
make you poor.
They lasted a month.
No, seriously.
Some people lasted a week.
They went into more debt.
You know what I'm saying? But some people but we so far behind that we think $10,000 is life-changing money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. It's because we so behind.
Oh, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We so behind. We think that, oh, shoot, my credit score went to 650. It's up. We so behind. We think we just got $10,000. It's up. We so behind. We think we just went ahead and got a regular life insurance, a term life insurance policy. We up.
Or I like to that point as well. Back to the audacity thing. We so behind that we would have people that's so consumed by other people's lives and gossip and shit like that and be proclaiming things. No, I know that's what's happening over there, and y'all ain't hear about this or whatever, or being a shit like weird shit like that. But if someone said, no, I took a test, I had no experience for it 9 times, they think that's crazy. It's like, yo, that's an investment in your own self, and that's actually more important, or actually more conducive to progression than anything else that's about somebody else's business. Like J. Cole said, if you were a poor person talking about a rich person, the joke was on you and shit like that. It's always funny to me that people be so consumed talking about strangers that's doing better than them.
Yeah, wow.
And it's like, now again, niggas, we big, niggas talk about trending topic shit, but it's a difference from people truly
consuming. Right, yeah, it's a difference.
People be consumed by other people's lives. It's like, yo, that shit don't matter. Like,
I used to have to check myself because it's like when I say I really don't give a fuck, it's not like in an arrogant way. It's like it's just like I feel like with the amount of time we have in a day, I would much rather think about the things that I have to do and work on within self than to think about what you're working on. Like, I can't keep up with people. It's not like an arrogance thing. Like that's why I don't do interviews because when I feel like you are being disrespectful to sit down with somebody for an interview and not have done your research on them. I don't want to come off like I'm arrogant, so I'd rather just have a conversation where I can get to know you on the spot versus me acting like I'm going to go invest. That's why I respect journalism, which is why I won't call myself a journalist because they really dig deep to get the information and do the research. And they dig deep. You follow what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like, all right, it goes to the respect of the craft. Nah, I'll enjoy doing this because I like getting to know people on the spot. Tell me who you are, tell me what you do, and I'll tell you what I know just through passing. But other than that, keeping and being consumed with what other people got going on, I never was big on gossip. It's just like, yo, man, I just can never be around people that talk about people. It's like people would never be comfortable bringing. It don't come my way because they know I'm not going to partake or engage, and I just feel like that's what keep people stuck. But at the same time, I feel like I can go to that dissociation of success. They feel like, okay, you're no longer low hanging fruit because you're successful, so now I can talk shit about you and it won't reach you. But it's like, or if you just put that same time and energy into something constructive for yourself, you can become that.
I always said, like, of course, like people that do fucked up shit, you know, they deserve what's coming to them. Cool, whatever. Whether it's Puffy, whoever the fuck it is, whatever. But I always said, like, people that be so consumed with like the fall of somebody, I feel it just be really hate for real. Like it be just niggas like you just want to see someone that's successful fall so bad because it's low key hate. Because like again, Puffy never did shit to me, so I'm not moved by his fall. It's kind of like, all right, cool, you did some fucked up shit. It is what it is. But people that be like, no, take him down and take Hove too. It's like, what the fuck? Like why? Like it's because you just hating for real.
It's I don't even call it hate. Well, it is hate, but it's just like we don't take nothing serious. I don't even think people genuinely, like I genuinely hating on you, is that we don't take nothing serious, that we make everything a joke. Like it's a joke that this man, like think about it, somebody trip and fall and they scrape their whole face, like damn, they bust their ass, like that's a serious thing, but it's just we take everything as a joke. It's not that I'm hating on you. I really truly want you to hurt yourself. It's I don't even know you. It's just like, yo, that's funny as shit. Like we don't take we don't really, you really think about, we don't take nothing serious. Think about when it might be a shooting, man, that was John Wick out there. Like, we make everything a bid. We make everything a bid.
We have become insensitive to a lot of serious, like to the point where it's like you said, I feel like it's on both sides of the spectrum. Some of it is just like, you got to know Philly, just especially Philly. You got to understand that's not personal. It's not personal.
It's funny.
But I feel like, to add context to the other aspect of it, is like some people feel like your success equates to them being a failure, and it's like
that's a fact.
They want you.
That's a fact.
When they say misery love company, it's like one of the things where
it's proof that what I was thinking was right.
Yeah, it's like proof that what I was thinking that is right, but at the same time, it's like now I don't have to be a failure alone. It's more so you fucked up. I played it safe. I didn't have to go through the public scrutiny. I didn't have to go through the embarrassment. I didn't waste my time. I didn't take the loss, and we in the same spot.
You ain't deserve it either.
I'm right. And they would much rather be right in that regard, because if they're wrong, then it's like it shows that gap from everything they never did, which is a insecurity that most people don't want to deal with. Now, I know that time is of the essence today, and we know that we gotta wrap. Because we did start behind. I take accountability for that, but no, for sure. Because this was on me. So
every time,
what you said? What
every time? Yeah.
We're not always strapped by time, even when I'm.
No, I said it's always on you though. Every time.
I mean, because I always take accountability. That's what leaders do.
That's right.
Appreciate it.
I mean,
but he saved it.
But all in all, in this particular matter, I feel like. I always say, we got to do a part 2, but I feel like this shit not even done.
Absolutely.
But because of the time situation, you know what I mean? I feel like we would be doing our audience a disservice if we don't figure out a way to make it happen. Whether it's in Atlanta when we all go down there, I know we all can been in there a couple times, or we got to do it on the go, or if you come back down to the studio, this shit gotta happen again. And it's kind of weird because I'm like,
pull back up. That ain't about nothing.
But I'm thinking like, if we let Boone just walk off and just do like another closing 10 minutes just to make sure we close out the episode, y'all think that's something the audience will appreciate, or y'all think that we should just land the plane here?
We can run it back.
All right, we can run it back. We get your word on that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, cool. We're gonna run it back.
Yeah, and again, before we even close, I want to say, I think it's always important to always give other black men their flowers and respect. So definitely, your whole story, your whole journey is dope and great, and so all power to you and more success to you.
Yeah, y'all flowers having one, having an open dialogue and allow people to listen in on a conversation that's, you know, not even just a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure, you know, 6-figure conversation, but also a higher thinking conversation too.
That was our goal
because
when we
a lot of people don't. We so used to having these convos, we don't realize how many people are not having these. They in the house talking about a whole bunch of BS or somebody. Yo, last time I say, this girl I helped her get into real estate. Long story short, her mom was telling her not to buy a house. Like literally telling her not to buy a house. She called me. She said, "Yo, my mom here. Can you get on the? Can I put her on the phone with you?" And I'm like, "What's up?" She said, "Yo, you help my daughter get this house. You need to stop. Like this shit. Like I don't want her to fail. X, Y, and Z." Fast forward, she ended up buying a duplex, renting both the units out, made some extra money, started her own business. She moved out of Philly.
She said, "I'm getting
doing great. She's doing great now."
Shout out to her.
So imagine, like you. So a lot of people are in homes where like they sleeping with the enemy. Yeah. They end up they best friend is the enemy, and it's not the fact that somebody actually want to be the enemy. It's just they projecting their fears onto you.
They're at war with themselves, and they project
exactly. So a lot of people don't know how to shut up and keep their stuff to themselves.
That's a fact.
So they just spur it out. Let me just tell you, that shit ain't gonna work.
Yo, that's a fact, and I appreciate that because in that perspective, I am spoiled, right? I'm around people. We had these talks. They get lost on the fact that we just had these talks. But it's somebody that never had this conversation, never heard these perspectives. So I appreciate that. Another thing, and giving you your flowers, success aside, I fuck with you as a person. And I don't know if you hear that enough, but you know, I fucked with you as a person. The first day I met you, I'm like, I like his energy. And it's like just through our encounters, even just something as simple as you see me out in Atlanta, I'm waiting for a fucking ride. You're like, yo, just hop in the truck with us. And it's just like, no, we all right, come on, you. It's little shit like that leave a great impression. So like, I fuck with that, and I want people to know that like outside of who you are in the real estate world, it's like, nah, as a on a man-to-man tip, I fuck with you as a person. So I'm gonna give you flowers on that as well.
And I'm sorry, real quick, to the point about the whole type of conversation we're having. Again, when we and Wolf came together to do the show, we were saying like we wanted to provide. Of course, we don't want to be super uptight and say this is how you do this, real estate 101 or therapy 101, but no, just have like a different scope and level of conversation in a casual, digestible way. Because no, these type of conversations, of course, bidding is cool. We all need to, decompress and bid, but no, these type of conversations, just of perspective and insight, and just hearing these type of testimonies, it's also important, just as necessary in life and shit like that. Yeah.
Well, we definitely gonna run this back because we got more to say, more to do. But in the meantime, y'all already know. I always tell y'all, I need y'all to share this. Do not gatekeep this episode or any other episodes. It's not just for you to take it; it's for you to spread it. Because as you let people know, we grow, and we need to reach more people because we want to create more healthy dialogue. We want to have more thought-provoking conversations. We want to create more successful thinking people. Because before you can become successful in the physical, it got to start in the mind. So we want your thoughts to become successful, and we want to continue to help you grow as we grow. So make sure you follow me at WolfWSC. Make sure you follow the network at wolfnetwork.wsc. Make sure you follow my guy Boone. Tell him your handle.
DSBOONE.
And make sure you follow my guy Q.
Yep, right on Q Live, as in the right side on QUE Live, right on Q Live.
And again,
smooth.
Again, I'm taking accountability for the fact that y'all only getting this sample size of a conversation that will be extended, and y'all will get more value. But take what you got from this, put it to use, man. Information is not as important as application. Many people know that cars drive, but not all people know how to drive cars. But it takes for you to drive the car to get where you're going. So I'll leave y'all with that, man. The Wolf has spoken.
That boy good.